Couldn't ask for a better day, Joey, really. And for Anthem as well to be at home. They'll be looking to find the same form they had against California in round one before Chicago took them down last week. We're excited about it as well. Seattle coming off a win as well. This should be exciting. They are riddled with injuries, however, Seattle. So we'll see how they fare today against this young and very enthusiastic Anthem team.
Okay. Let's go. You on? Timing's good. Broad back, broad back. Okay, inside. Lost speed too.
Discipline, Joey, definitely discipline. They just got to play squeaky clean. Seattle as well, especially early on in the season. You can forgive both teams for being a little rusty, a little nervous as well. But I think the team that defends the best and keeps their penalties to a minimum should come out on top.
Are you in or out? Jess, hold on. You're moving across from the mark, hooker. You got to stay on the touchy, please. Yeah, okay. And Blue, you stay on your mark. So open up. We're going to open up? Yep, yeah, exactly. Thank you. Stay on the touchy. Good. When it changes, you still got momentum. Left hand. Change. It's not straight. Johan? Johan, you want a scrum or line out? Scrum is not certain. Let's go now. Let's go now.
Not straight called on Seattle.
So that ball there, Joey, you see it was skewed. It went over too close toward the Seattle side, which results in a scrum now to Anthem. So an early mistake from Seattle. Going against what I recommended they do. You asked me what's going to be the difference in it's little errors like that that can really cripple you.
Bind! Set!
First proper scrum of the day. Trying to find the awaiting arms there of Andre Warner. It'll actually favor Anthem.
Number one, pouring in.
And straight away, Anthem making a statement.
That one's a good one, yeah? Yeah.
This is something they weren't used to last season, and they've beefed up their forward pack. You mentioned, Joey, new players coming in for Anthem, especially in the forward pack, which has been key. We're giving Seattle plenty to think about now at scrum time. If you can gain ascendancy early, it's a real psychological advantage.
Touch by Anthem results in an Anthem RC lineup.
In your eyes for this Anthem Rugby club, how does territory play an advantage for your group, especially when last couple of matchups have felt so back and forth, both with respect to California and Chicago?
Here's the mark.
Yeah.
Use the touchy, please. Open it. Come in, Blue.
I'm just listening to the ref now, but
Jets,
you're right,
Blue.
Joey. Territory is so key, but I think what's even more key is making the most of your territory. Clarkey talked about not being happy about how many times they entered the opposition 22. They had a real scoring chance, but didn't capitalize on it. So it's not just getting to the right zone, it's making the most of it.
Wait in front. Thank you.
Andre Warner, the scrum half for Seattle, boots this one far away, and it's caught up there by Momsen. Played back here for Anthem. Scooted forward, nicely taken down there by Jordan Traynor, and the vice captain for this group, wrestling down the ball carrier. I believe that was Ignacio Piculo, 3 in white. Now stay with
Penalty awarded
Anthem.
to Anthem. The penalty is not rolling away.
You hear the ground announcer. So when you make a tackle, for the new viewers, you need to roll away and not just loiter in that tackle zone, which prevents quick ball for the team that has possession. Otherwise, you'll get penalised. So we're really trying to encourage tackling and just getting out of the way so that it allows the ball to be moved quickly. And on that occasion, another error, another penalty. They're starting to pile up. So Anthem piling the pressure on at the moment in a couple of areas against Seattle.
Already a bum ankle. James Scott not going to let that bother him. The second row lock. Big number 5 was with Chicago last season. 119 lineouts, 1 for him. Longtime member of the Worcester Warriors back in 2018. Finally making his debut over in the MLR after that. Anthem played forward off the boot there of Luke Carty. The USA capped Irishman, Eagle number 536. And Anthem prepares for their first line out. On this side of the field, into the red zone we go. Played back, nicely taken by Roberts, and a thump there on Tom Pittman by Paddy Ryan. There's one switch today, and you mentioned it as well in the open. Paddy Ryan and Manu Redlinghouse also going to be switching between that 6 and 7 spot. What'd you see here, Mark?
Well, look at that line, first of all, from the 12, Tom Pittman. That's what you want to see from your inside center, just getting up into the game line, hard running, but equally strong tackle by Paddy Ryan. They do get another bite at the cherry, Anthem, so they'll have a scrum coming off that line out. Another prime attacking opportunity for Anthem.
We chatted with Alan Clark earlier this week. He was emphatic about everybody being able to stay healthy, and they've taken a couple of different protocols with that. Practicing with full contact less this season, trying to keep everybody healthy. They've had a couple of injuries. Markedly today, Rufus McLean is out. Mason Peterson out with a red card. Not quite an injury, but still affects the group. Michael Hahn is out. You mentioned Duncan Matthews. So they're a bit touch and go as far as the injuries are concerned. Anthem truly with a big chance here. Into the red zone we go. Tackled down is Pittman. Wrestled forward. It's picked up there by Roberts on the outside. For Anthem we go. Malachi Esdale, a winger. Scooped up once again. Connor Mooneyham works around the outside. He's just shy of the try line on a touch. Mooneyham had such a big debut in week 1 against California on his 30th birthday, trying to resume some of that effort here today at home.
There was no try anyway, so it'll come back for the advantage. There was a penalty. We'll see in a moment what it was for. I think it might have been Paddy Ryan trying to play the ball off his feet. You see, and that was all the way back here. The ref will have the mark for us. And Anthem yet again with a penalty. They've already kicked it right on the 5-meter line. And this is their best attacking opportunity today. It's all Anthem in this first 6 minutes.
Augusta Cavalieri knew the challenge ahead when he took out.
Do you see the backup microphone?
This has been such an important piece these first couple weeks to rebuilding the culture here. They have it now. Campbell Robb trying to cheek forward. He finds it. Big grouping ahead, and Robb dives for the try. Anthem on the board first. The number 2 overall pick.
Well, Joey,
scores for Anthem.
It seemed inevitable, didn't it, Anthem? Just the build-up, doing everything right. First with that big scrum penalty, then another penalty, and this final penalty was the one that broke the camel's back. Well executed, line-out drive. Robb in control at the back, and once he spotted that try line, there was no stopping him.
Well, you started to say the momentum for Anthem markedly improved sign of where they wanted to start. Augusta Cavalieri was letting us know earlier this week, if we can get a fast start against Seattle, who has championship level ambitions, that's going to be the best way to put them on their heels, and they've done that as Cardi lines up for the extra 2, and it's through. And the home crowd excited on Sunday.
Anthem RC is good by Luke Cardi.
Love a good try celebration, and why not? Campbell Robb loving it out there.
Anthem RC's official and exclusive craft
Central Washington grad, born originally in New Zealand. He was a javelin thrower when he was young, by the way.
Is that what that try celebration was, perhaps?
Maybe so. Yeah. Good call.
Well, a mistake from that kickoff, Joey.
Brian Ray, game day in Charlotte. Yes, it is, good sir. And if you'd like to participate and get yourself on our broadcast feed, hashtag MLR 2026. Get your mug and your tweet on air. So Seattle, another scrum now in the opponent's territory. Such a big mass of transfers. Markedly a couple guys from the MLR runners-up a season ago here for this Seawolves group. Markedly Marno Redling Ice, the War Machine, donning that number 6 today. So talked about Andre Warner, the scrum half, number 9 in white. Davey Kutzer going to be a focal point of this group today, the number 10, just like we saw Luke Cardi. There's going to be plenty of time to get both those players involved. Warner scoops it out. The absence of J.P. Smith today. Going to see how these two interact, the 9s and 10. Played forward, caught on there. Reno Herbst played back. That ball's knotted forward. And Mooneyham was ready to advance on a potential line break. And unfortunate for him, not allowed in that sequence as the whistle blown by Mike Lawrenson.
Playing advantage again for a penalty. And this is Anthem just actually going to sleep a little, Joey, after scoring a try. This is often what we see in rugby. When a team scores, they just relax a little and allow the team that just got scored on to come back firing, and that's exactly what Seattle have done. First with the knock-on at the kickoff, which gave them possession. The little dink over the top was a beauty, but Mooneyham in the perfect position. That's well anticipated from the winger. But it did come back for the penalty. We were playing advantage, so a chance to get on the board now for Seattle, which will settle the nerves a little.
Kutzer had 18 points kicked through in their week 2 win over Old Glory. Slotted 7 of his 8 kicks at goal. Finds it here. 3 more for Seattle.
The kick for Seattle is good.
And Kutzer last week, despite being the man of the match, felt like he needed to bring more out of himself and more out of this group. That's what you'd like to see out of one of your senior leaders for this Seattle team.
Such high standards, Davey Kutzer. He is a competitor.
So Seattle on the board. We expect a competitive matchup today, especially with respect to the parity in the league. As you work from 6 different teams, you're going to see multiple matchups against the same team. Mark, did you have some matchups back in the Super League days against the same teams in the same season? Did it feel like rivalries were starting to, especially against the 3 Aussie teams?
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. It was. And thanks for showing my age. Back then, it was only 3 Aussie teams in Super Rugby, Joey. Then it went to 5 teams with Super 15, back to 4. But certainly we had rivalries. Oh, Waratahs versus Brumbies. Waratahs versus Queensland Reds. That was a big one.
Ball played forward. Anthem on that try, Mark. It seemed like they just had the horses to push forward. It feels like we're seeing that in some of the shorter scrums. Roberts gets that off just in time. Played forward and out of touch.
Shame that ball went out when it did. Good little play, but let's have a look at the skills. You mentioned Julian Roberts. So out the back and then the pass. Look at that mid-air. That is nearly impossible to do, folks. Julian Roberts normally plays wing, but equally comfortable in the centers. And he demonstrated it there with that pass.
How do you typically find that anybody who could normally play wing can also play center? What kind of things do you look for somebody to make that switch?
Well, it helps to have pace, that's for sure. I tell you, I think it's easier to go from wing maybe to move in, but it is a completely different position in many aspects. I just think having the skill, having the pace, you're out wide, you've got to have that spatial awareness as well, because you're not in close to all the traffic where you normally would be at 10 and 12. You have a little bit more space to cover. But as Julian Roberts showed there, not all wingers have the handling skills to move into the centers. Julian Roberts just proved that he does.
We were thinking about earlier this week about the matchup between he and Dorian Jones, the opposite 12. The Welsh center who played for Nola Gold in 24 and 2025. As Seattle works back in possession, that's Paddy Ryan, the flanker. USA eligible Irishman, formerly of the San Diego Legion. He joins another all-time winning franchise. Yes, the San Diego Legion, formerly the all-time winningest franchise. Now with Seattle potentially to be back at the mountaintop. Looking for win number 73. Mooneyham skies that ball high in the air, just past the halfway line. Played down, and Mooneyham a slick tackle as Andre Warner recovered it. Played forward there for Michael Hann and Mark Bennett. This is Paddy Ryan once again. Into the Anthem territory we go. Andre Warner plays it forward, a little pooch to himself. Played down. That ball tackled right just ahead of the red zone. Believe that was Davey Kutzer, and looks like Seattle might be willing to give this a challenge, as Mike Lawrence has indicated he's going to go back to the RRS, the referee review system, and that's a welcome sign there for Davey Kutzer. He gets looked at by the athletic trainer.
That didn't look good when he got tackled. It was a crunching tackle, looked like a two-man tackle as well. But while we wait for this challenge, Andre Warner, we saw him do it so often with Houston in previous seasons. The quick tap, trying to speed up the game, get the defense off guard. And just could. And let's have a listen now for this challenge outcome.
The officials are going to look at the giant video board appropriately. No need for a tiny laptop.
Looking for a no-arms tackle in that contest on Davey Kutzer. Potentially the second tackler coming in.
As Mike Lawrenson and Amelia Luciano and Tom Ciampa deliberate. Not able to hear Mike at the moment, and I'm curious then, Mark, you're going to be our resident referee.
Oh, thanks, Joey.
Well. You didn't know you were working two jobs today.
No, I didn't.
No arms tackle is what we're looking at the moment, and looks like they've made their decision.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough call, but I think there was at least an attempt to wrap. And then you can't hear the ref, but he is signaling. Let's look at his arm signals. He's not putting his hand up for a penalty. That seems to suggest that the challenge is not upheld. And it will go back to the original decision, which was a knock-on by Davy Kutzer, the scrum. So challenge unsuccessful.
So through the first 15 minutes, we've seen one try for Anthem. Seattle on the penalty kick gains 3. Mark Stabina, Joey Lindstrom, thank you so much for being with us. Our very talented crew bringing you the action here today from American Legion Stadium here in Charlotte. A beautiful day down south. Carried forward here by Zion Going. That ball played off the hip there of Harrison Mataili. And Anthem tried for that continuation. It'll be held up. Looks like Mike Lawrenson is going to bring this all the way back just behind the halfway line.
Yeah, I believe he pinged Seattle for offside. And maybe milking the penalty a little bit by seemingly throwing the ball into the offside player. There it is. Just get out of the way. I'm gonna get a penalty out of you, sir. You couldn't see that, but what a kick. That is huge.
Skied.
So yeah, once again, watch this. Player clearly in the way, and I feel like that might have been
They didn't think intentional at all?
a little manipulative. But why not? You got to go for it. Make it look like you're trying to get it past the offside player.
Is that a situation that is up for debate at all? As far as hitting a player as they're trying to get back on defense with the ball?
The fact that he was playing advantage already, I'm not sure. You'd have to ask a referee. Maybe he would just think that that's a little cynical. That's a little over the top.
Perhaps a little bit savvy there by.
Yeah, I think
Going.
it was. Obviously it was. And it just highlighted that Seattle needed to make a better effort of getting back on side.
Rob, a tall throw, was skied high in the air there for Anthem. Have a bit of a reset. Sam Gala way up top. The Cal
throw was
grab.
not straight.
Osmond watching from Trinidad. Love it. An Anthem fan. Anthem worldwide. Trinidad, Bolivia. Amazing. Actually, yeah. Thank you. Should gotta read the whole tweet, right?
Well, yeah. Either or, equally amazing.
Again, hashtag MLR 2026 if you'd like to get involved. Mark Stabina is like Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide.
Wow.
Except with hair. Good hair. Seattle will play forward. Andre Warner, the scrum half to handle, and kicked way off. You think that was a mishit there?
Didn't look clean off the boot, Joey. You're dead right. I mean, even just you'll see the shape of the ball as it leaves his boot indicates that it wasn't a clean strike. Just kind of came across it there. It's the toe, and you know, I feel like he might be carrying a little injury. He just looked uncomfortable through that entire movement. We'll see as the game wears on for Davy Kutzer. Keep an eye on him.
High in the air goes Sam Gala. And another whistle from Mike Lawrenson. Good bit of reset. What's changed over the last 5-10 minutes, if anything, in your eyes?
I don't see a lot changing. I think what we are seeing are both teams struggling to get into their groove. We've just seen yet another line-out mishap. So it was first Anthem with a prime attacking opportunity, lost the ball. Then Seattle, not a good kick out. But then Anthem mess up the line-out again. So you can just see neither team really able to get in their groove. That seems to be the theme early on in this game.
Slightly out of sorts. Warner works back. Played down by Mark Bennett. Working around the outside. Nicely done. Here's Divan Rousseau. He had a beautiful line break last week to work off for Andre Warner to get that try against Old Glory. It was really the highlight of their match. Ball played forward and knock on.
Another penalty. Now it seems to have swung in favor of Seattle. Anthem.
Seattle is awarded the penalty.
Just showing some ill discipline. And Davy Kutzer, wow, maybe he's not uncomfortable at all. That's going to be a hell of a kick.
Yeah, he looks ready to go. Hydration break incoming.
This kick attempt is brought to you by Novant Health.
Davy Kutzer will have a hack at it. Quite the spot for Kutzer. Again, 18 points last week via his big right boot. Former Houston 10. Making waves for the Seawolves. Lined up, and it's through.
Easy.
What a boot from Kutzer.
Easy for Kutzer. Child's play.
The kick for Seattle is
But also an
good
important
by number 10,
kick
Davy
for Seattle.
Kutzer.
So 3 more points for Seattle headed into the hydration break. We'll take one with them. 20 down, 20 to go in the first half here from Carolina.
Fans, today's special Anthem RC memorabilia auction closes at 5 p.m. So make sure you
Out of the hydration break, Anthem to kick. Off the penalty points there from Davy Kutzer. The Seawolves team with 12 players returning, 19 fresh faces. And as a head coach, Alan Clark let us know that's certainly refreshing to have, you know, new blood in the group. Try to adopt that culture. 2 titles under the belt of this franchise, but they've had that elusive 3rd title for a number of years now. They won back in 2018 and 2019 to go back to back. And this group feels like they have the horses ready for another championship run.
Joey, you're right. I really appreciated Clarkie's take on that, saying, yeah, it's new, fresh blood. It's refreshing. It's good to see where you can look at it the other way. They've had the same squad for most of the last few seasons. It could be challenging. But no, he sees the positives in getting new players out. They've lost a lot of key players.
The Carolina Reaper making an appearance once again in American Legion Stadium.
Frightening.
He actually has the same garb for the Carolina Chaos of the Premier Lacrosse League. He goes to all the games. So he is a Carolina sports fan through and through. So pretty cool.
He's moonlighting today.
I'd say so. Boy, what a tackle. Stiffened up on the outside. Trying to gain width. Anthem gets it back. Tough to ID who that was in real time. Tom Pittman carrying forward here for Anthem. Malachi Esdale also carried through, and Devon Rousseau lets that one fly back to the 22.
That may be a 50-22. I always forget to look to see where they kicked it from, but that is a thumping kick.
Yeah, no doubt.
And let's see which arm the touch judge puts out. Yes, I think it was a 50-22. This tackle, though, is enough to lift your team. Esdale on Boyer. Boy, oh boy. Sit down. And it created the turnover as well. Great look here. What an angle. And Boyer, really not much he could do there. Did extremely well to keep it in, but it ended up in the hands. But this is a 50-22, and this is a massive kick. So Seattle kicked it downfield through Rousseau, and they've come up with the ball again.
Line out high in the air, caught on by one hand. Oh, wow, Ezekiel Lindenmuth. A try for Seattle. They storm back into the lead. Part of the MLR first 15 last week for his effort. Picks up right where he left off.
And Joey, that looked way too easy for Lindenmuth, I got to say. I mean, he's a frightening man to try and tackle, but you need a better effort than that. Perhaps just a little deception created it. We'll have another look at it in a second, but for now, all-important try for Seattle. The line out was perfect. The tap down. Look at the one-arm take under the wing. And maybe just not expecting it, Luke Carty. He probably thought Lindenmuth was going to drop that pass. But he looked like a center, just plucking it out of the air, tucking it under the wing, and then prancing over that try line.
That was good stuff right there. Easy one for Kutzer.
Please make sure they stay behind you before the kick. Thank you.
And Seattle a 13-7 lead over Anthem. You know, we started out the broadcast with a Seattle first pressure. Anthem really took it
Go backwards, play on.
back into possession, especially for territory as they try to work through their own line break. Working down, that's Momsen with Mon, as well as Gala. Played back, nice movement here from Anthem. Roberts on the outside. One more, and this is Esdale. He loses the handle, but it's picked up quickly by Tongawiya.
Rip by wide, no knock on.
Inside the 5-meter.
Short,
Played forward once again. Everybody in front. It's Momsen.
Last feet. There's too many tacklers. You cannot turn that ball over.
And we're going to see, it looks like Mike Lawrenson is gesturing that this is going to be the line out the 5.
Okay, you're going to tell me.
Looks like a
But
penalty.
Seattle actually is taking their option to challenge as well. We'll see what happens here.
Look at these hands, Joey. Trainer, Roberts, and then there's a number 7 in the mix. Tongawiya out to the wing. That's what started it all for Anthem. Tongawiya still going, brought down a meter from the line. And this is where the penalty comes. They're just piling on the pressure, scrambling for their lives, are Seattle, doing whatever they can. But unfortunately for them, they did it illegally. You see right there. Got to get out of the way, Mr. Herbst.
Just explain to the camera.
Stopping the momentum of play. It was cynical. Let's see what they're looking at now.
It's outside of the protocol of RRS, the referee review system. It needs to be within 2 phases of scoring a try, or it needs to be foul play. Therefore, the review is unsuccessful, and Seattle loses their second challenges. They have no challenges remaining.
So that's big, especially in the context of this first half. If you're Seattle, you lose that challenge in your second. So no challenges remaining for Seattle.
But they did not score a try. They need to score a try for you to challenge it. There was a penalty here for not rolling away. So you're on the try line.
Okay, so
No, you can't change it yet. It's outside of protocol.
the ref has his arm out for a knock-on. That's very interesting.
A scrum is chosen.
Because he allowed Anthem to play on.
Not rolling away. Scrum is chosen.
Didn't end up in a try. Perhaps that was what the challenge was, but the challenge came. The challenge needed, this is my understanding, Joe, the challenge needed to come soon after the knock-on when the ref had his arm out. But I guess the challenge came after a couple of more phases, and then that makes the challenge null and void. Very technical, and we're all getting used to this new law this season.
And that's a lot to sort out in real time for Mike Lawrenson as well.
Oh, for sure, yeah, he did a great job. And coaches and captains, I'm sure, are getting used to this new situation as well.
Okay, use it now.
So Anthem,
Stay 9.
prime real estate
Stay.
here in Charlotte. Zion going. Will work to that left side near the touchline.
Use it.
And still in possession here for Anthem. Ali Khan is there, number 8 in blue. Carried down. It was Campbell Robb earlier.
White advantage.
There's Tongawiya once again.
Offsides, white.
Heading up there, number 7 in blue, holding on tightly. Johan Momsen
Ball's
trying to
available,
muscle
let's use it.
forward with his teammate. Still in possession here for Anthem. Going, working back. That's Pittman. One more for Roberts. And he scores.
It's all right for me.
Julian Roberts down to the 13 today.
Okay. It's another
Momentum back in favor of Anthem with a chance to take the lead.
And once again, that was on the end of a build-up from Anthem. The 12 and 13 combination, the little no-look pass from Pittman, but also the line of Julian Roberts coming in on the angle, making it impossible to tackle.
The conversion for Anthem is good by Luke Carty.
Luke Carty busted through. The lead back in, Mark.
He was not to be stopped, Roberts. Oh, I tell you what there, when you look at that angle, ref was right there. So he was in perfect position to see if Roberts didn't get the grounding, if he lost control over the line. I tell you what, I think had Clarkey not lost his challenge, he probably would have challenged that grounding as well.
You think so?
Wow. I can't speak for Mr. Clark, but I bet he didn't like the look of that last replay.
He's got the vantage point up in the press
Timing's
box.
good.
I don't think he's on the field today. But Anthem stormed back. A nice little matchup we've got here today. We knew it was going to be pretty charged up. Thought maybe with Seattle, even despite some of their nagging injuries, would be able to handle themselves well against a team that's still trying to just find its identity after their first franchise win in week 1. Divan Rousseau huddles this one up.
No clear release.
Rattling ice.
Tackler assist. No, you tackler assist, no clear
Thumping
release.
forward for his teammate, 6 and
No
white.
racing penalty called on Anthem.
A War Machine.
Tackler has to roll as
Showing
well.
why.
What an arm wrestle this is so far, 14-13. And the theme we're seeing, Joey, is when a team scores, the opposition comes fighting right back. Look where Seattle are, only moments after Anthem scored a try. And Anthem have done that to Seattle as well. So they really, both teams need to be wary after they score any points to keep that concentration for the following kickoff.
Cuts it.
Wait, more.
Up top for Herbst.
To the middle.
Good push from Seattle. Breaking away is Patty Ryan into the corner. And Seattle storms right back into the lead.
Once again, that fight back, instantaneous from Seattle. That shows the class and experience. They needed to be technical as well, so capitalizing from that kickoff with a perfect line out. Paddy Ryan, what about the strength of the big number 7? He's made some big hits today as well and showing how handy he is right through the middle there. Just not ready for that. Mooneyham did his best coming across in cover, but it was all too late. Paddy Ryan was not to be stopped. Not an easy grounding as well with that left arm. Fantastic play from the open side
There's a
flanker.
team challenged by Anthem. The play is under review.
So Anthem actually wants to take a second look as well. Again, if they're wrong, they lose it. What do you surmise the challenge could be here before we hear from Mike Lawrence?
Yeah, I think it might be something to do with how easily Paddy Ryan broke through that line-out drive. Maybe there was an obstruction from another Seattle player preventing Anthem from defending effectively. We'll see it from the line out when the ball is brought down. There's certainly nothing wrong with the grounding. It's got to be from early on, yes. There were some Seattle players in front of Ryan blocking. Especially, I think I saw Mataele.
There's access to the jumper.
Mataele was in front of Ryan.
Can you give me the from the reverse angle as well?
Let's have a listen to the experts.
Okay,
But I also saw
more, please? Come back a little bit more.
Mataele, the number 5, did get out of the way quite quickly, but he might have done enough to block.
Jess, please give us some space, yeah? Let us review it alone.
Which allowed the momentum of the drive in the first place.
From these angles, there's no conclusive evidence for me of double banking, so I just had a try stance. Fair? Okay, let me told you.
Now you hear it.
We did. We heard over the mic that no conclusive evidence. It was
review of the play,
tricky to see.
there was no obstruction in the mall setup. Therefore, the try stands and Anthem loses the challenge. They have 1 challenge remaining. Try stands. You have 60 seconds starting now.
Well, there you have it. Seattle, a 4-point advantage before the 2-point attempt here for Davy Kutzer. Not enough sway in the wind there. It'll stay 18-14 our count. We've gone back and forth for a very entertaining first half.
Yeah, the way this game is going, I think it's going to be a seesaw effort till the final whistle, Joey. I just love the way that Anthem have shown up already, despite not being in the lead.
So a try by Ezekiel Lindenmuth, who got the party started last week for Seattle with their first try, and now followed up there by Paddy Ryan, the flanker.
Always in.
And you saw the ball just being kicked out by Rousseau. It wasn't his best kick, but that man on your screen had something to do with it. Johan Monson, playing lock today, was the sole defender that raced through to put pressure on Rousseau. Sometimes that's enough to not allow the kicker to get a clean ball away. Could be the difference between having a line out here and having a line out all the way back on your own halfway line.
Back for Going, and Anthem trying to get shot out of a cannon with less than 10 minutes to go here in this first half. Played down, Going once again. They're working that left side on width, and Julian Roberts breaks away again. One more pass, and Esdale touches down for a try.
Well, these Anthem backs are on a tear today with ball in hand. Beautiful to watch. Roberts relishing his move from the wing into the centres, and Esdale also benefiting. What a finisher he is. USA 7's sensation. Just the hands again. The setup, first of all, from the forwards. Nice go forward ball, up and over the advantage line. That pass from the 15, Jordan Trainer, really clicking at the moment, these backs, finding the gaps. And Seattle struggling with an answer out wide at the moment. That line, we got to see it front on. That was the key. Julian Roberts coming in on a sharp inside angle. It forces the defender to have to use their inside shoulder, which is often the weaker shoulder if you're faced one way. And that's enough to allow Roberts to bustle through.
Malachi Esdale is a former Seawolf himself. He scores against his former team. And Anthem now lead by 3.
Please help me keep him on the side of the kickoff for me. Just help him keep it behind you, please.
What a start for both these groups. This is how
Stay behind.
you like your rugby, huh?
Who doesn't?
A little volatile, back and forth. This is awesome.
You have a knock on, Millie?
Knocked on and recovered there briefly by Tom Pittman. And Life University giving a shout to their alma mater. Julian Roberts, 10-12 for the good folks at Life. No doubt, awesome to see all your former lifers. Eagles, of course, and thanks for chiming in. Again, hashtag MLR 2026.
Joey, look at this kickoff. I know I keep banging on about it, but Anthem have just scored, and straight away they make an error. A lapse in concentration, allowing Seattle to hit right back. Both of these teams need to tidy that element of the game up.
Set. No.
Aggressive scrum to start out. Easy one here for Andre Warner. Played back there for Mark Bennett.
Come back for the advantage.
Advantage here for Seattle.
So they probably knew that they were playing with a free play there. That's why they potentially pushed the pass in midfield, a risky pass, and Davey Kutzer now will put it on a dime, 5 meters out. Yeah, that's where you want to be, Joey. This is where you want to be, in trouble now, especially after their last try, their last driving maul effort. But it was from way further out than 5 meters. So Anthem,
Blue, open up. Yeah, it's on the 5. So you guys will be
big task for them now in defense.
Deval Kutza way up top, played down, bounced right back into number 2's pocket. Warner
short
to Lindenmuth once again. Works back, bit of a tough pass there. Handled there by Herbst, and Reno works back, and it's still possession here for Seattle. Just a couple meters away from that 5 mark. Warner to Reddling Ice. Mono Reddling Ice.
No tackle yet. Tackle, leave it, Blue, no hands.
Look at the legs churning. Still forward here for Warner. One more for Reno Herbst. Herbst tumbles down. Warner with a wealth of options, goes to Paculo.
Tackle, lost
Anthem
feet.
holding up here with 5 minutes to go in the first half. One more pass for Rickard Hanning. Played down to Reno Herbst.
Knock one into in goal. It should be a try
Oh, and
line,
he
not
knows
back.
it too.
And Reno almost gets the try. Lost the handle.
Try line on the 5, White.
Every
knock one
bit of
inside, so it's gonna
effort
be
you
a try
can
line
have here in
goal.
this first half, you're getting.
Where's that ball? You have the ball?
And what an angle here to show Reno Herbst. Look at him, just look at that white line, but the tackle of Goal, I think it's Goller on the ground.
It was, yep.
That's a try saver.
I thought he hit the ball.
Because it was enough of an
That's what I
effort.
thought,
Look at Reno, I feel for you, buddy. This
Mitchell was
line
behind
out
you,
though,
please.
Joey, look at that. Sam Goller, again, people might not have noticed, he got his hand in there
Behind,
and
please,
didn't
Blue, behind
allow the Seattle player to bring it down cleanly, which could have resulted in a try straight away.
So Sam Goller, the former Cal Golden Bear, a longtime pro. This is a top lineout target for Anthem in 2025, 68-1, just 51 fewer of his teammate James Scott. Once the first overall pick in 2022, fourth most tackles as a rookie. An Eagle Test debut back in 2023.
Johan, it's gonna be quicker,
Try-saving
please.
tackle. Anthem avoids certain
be quicker, Johan.
disaster, at least for the moment, in the waning moments here of the first half. And to see the confidence lift for Mark Carney, Augustin Cavalieri, and the rest of the technical staff for Anthem when they beat California in the opening match of the season. It was great for them, also great for MLR to just show where we are with the parity of this league. Tangawia
Okay, use it.
plays
Lost
it
feet, stand
down,
back, stand back.
and Zion Going and
No,
company
no, it's not out.
will
No,
work
no.
back.
Don't ask me, please.
That's LA trying to prod that maybe there was some foul
one
play
advantage.
involved. That ball
By blue.
skied high in the air with a collision at the halfway line. And then Rousseau played back.
Gentlemen, we're going backwards. You come back to the
Kutzer
knock
loses
advantage by
it.
Blue.
An advantage for Anthem.
Yeah, the advantage was for the original knock-on from that kick contest a few moments ago.
Yes.
Regardless of that, just looking a little out of sorts in offense.
Yeah, just ask me next time. Yeah,
Pass
please.
went to ground. There's that original knock-on by Anthem. And then if we keep rolling, just this little pass not hitting the mark. Kutzer either overrunning it or the pass was not executed well. They need to clean up that area, Seattle.
I do not envy Mike Lawrenson's job
Bind.
trying to sort all that out. Emilio Luciano there on the touchline, assistant referee. So Seattle a chance to play it back,
Number 3.
at least for the moment. And a penalty be awarded back to Anthem.
Anthem again in the scrum, making a statement. I'll reiterate what I said before. Didn't quite have the beef last 2 seasons that they now have in their armory.
Yeah, it was collapsing. Yeah, on the ball.
Same with this number 10, Luke Carty.
It's overextended.
Such a balanced player. I mean, look at that kick.
That's beautiful.
Just things like, it's the execution of things like this that now give his team a solid chance of scoring just from kicking it to the 5-meter line. He really knows how to steer the ship. When it's time to throw the ball around, he will, but when it's time just to settle down and play field position, he can do that as well. And it takes a very clever number 10 with their game management to do this.
White, you need to have somebody in the hooker channel, please. No, in the channel, in the trams.
So some urgency here before
Open up,
halftime.
please.
Let's get a
White,
couple
open
extra
up.
moments here with the injury
Here we
time.
go.
Where do you find yourself if you're Anthem? Can you go ahead by at least 8? Here with just a couple of minutes to go. Too tall on the line out. It's huddled down there by Deval Kutzer.
Okay, last foot. Blue, step back. Blue, step back.
Wrestled
Blue, step
down.
back.
Seattle
Blue,
just
step
going to
back.
try to get out of their own zone here. Just a couple of meters away.
You have to
Played
respond. I'm telling
forward,
you to step
Lindenmuth.
back in front of the last foot.
Groundhogs
Number 5,
down, and Mike Lawrence putting a stop to that.
Well, once again, a huge defensive effort from Seattle to thwart that line-out drive. And that's what they wanted right on halftime, and not allow another try for Anthem.
Yeah, that's a big moment at the end right there. Huge. Because Anthem really had the ability to go score. They don't end up with it. So we land at a 3-point advantage for Anthem as we go into halftime. You're watching the MLR on ESPN.
So the challenge came. I want to come tell you what it's for, so you know.
Thank you, partner. Got us all brushed up, ready to go. Second half on the run. You know, I said to you in that in the halftime break, what's going to be the biggest thing, the biggest impression for both these coaches to improve on? Because largely a lot of things went well. I think you might have mentioned penalties early on in the first half as being an issue because there's a lot of stop-start right now. You'd like to see more flow.
More flow, less penalties will create that, but also less handling errors as well. You look how close this match is, and
good to go.
They seem to be going blow for blow, but when a team holds the ball for a longer period of time and doesn't make mistakes, they tend to get out on top.
Seattle is chasing history today. Anthem.
No knock on, no knock on.
They're the wild card. This team is young, pieced together over the offseason. They're finding their groove and their way. As Zion Going works back here to Tanguia. Played back one more for Ali Khan. Handled by Sam Gala. And the flanker pushes forward, nosing through that defense. Laid down there for Ali Khan once again. The back's doing work here. This is Tom Pittman. And Zion Going will reverse field. Played back here for James Scott. Way over top. It's intercepted nicely by Nick Boyer. Played through here for Seattle. At advantage and on the run go Davey Kutzer and Andre Warner. Redlingheis is there as this one is still being handled, trying to just hold up. Somebody's got to be scrum half, and Paculo assumes that position. Lindenmuth carries down. We saw him score the try earlier. Nick Boyer will work out of that scrum. Tuamoiloa wrestles his way forward. Seattle just trying a line break. Riekert Hadding. How about that interception by Nick Boyer? Well ahead of the halfway line here, Mark, and Seattle seems to be eager to get this second half started. Defense to offense here to go into this possession. There's a good look to Imolia. Work back, and Andre Warner. Nothing but green turf in front of him. And another try for the Seawolves. They smelled blood in the water and attacked on D to turn it 0.
Well, only moments ago, Joey, it was Anthem on the attack, winning the ball from the kickoff. Sam Golla, superb effort, but then an error. We talked about being clinical. The intercept resulted in Seattle getting to this part of the field, and just a disconnect in defense from Anthem. I bet Tuamoiloa couldn't believe his luck. You can see here,
seconds.
well, you look at from that angle, you saw Julian Roberts jam in to make a tackle, and that left a huge gap for Tuamoiloa to go through. And Andre Warner, he is just a support player supreme. Always in the right spot to take that last pass.
20 seconds.
Why he has so many tries to his name, Joey.
No doubt. One of the best. First 15 in the MLR in 2024. Topped the league with 2 try assists last week.
The conversion for Seattle is good.
And let's see where it all started.
We have a team
Anthem were
challenge
on the attack.
by Anthem.
Boyer does well
Players under review.
to take that intercept pass. And then beautiful play down the sideline. The connection between these former Houston players, Warner and Kutzer, is a feature. But we might have another challenge on our hands, Joey.
Challenge.
Now, I used this dad joke yesterday, but it's been a challenging game so far.
It's a high contact.
Not sure what they're looking at the
High tackle
moment.
with head contact, yeah,
High tackle, okay, there we go. There might be some head contact after a high tackle. And I'm guessing it's Anthem who made the challenge.
The head contact, high tackle. Looking for foul play.
What's the key here? That arm sweeping over towards the head and neck area then?
It is, and because Seattle had the ball,
there, please, on number 2.
we're going to be looking at a support player of Seattle coming in to clean out an Anthem player at the contact situation.
I see.
I feel like it might be a high contest on Sam Gola. Not sure who.
Can we confirm the challenges for the tackle on the number 2 white, or is it for the clear up on number 4?
We're looking at it right now. That was it. Reino Herbst on Sam Gola.
Which tackle are we reviewing?
I wonder who the member of the staff is that keeps an eye on these types of things to alert Augusta Cavalieri.
I mean, that's got to be a full-time job, isn't it?
Right after, it's got to be. Kuko made that call right after the play.
Show me this angle, please.
Somebody had to say, wait, let's see if they make something out of this and get the line break, which they did.
Now
so you watch Four's arm here.
Well, I mean, right there.
Yeah.
Can you show me full speed, please? Same flip.
Clear that the left arm of Reino Herbst climbed up onto the face of Sam Gola.
Okay, it's not a high degree of danger for me. However, there is head contact. There is foul play because he could have got lower. There's a mitigation for me because there was another player in the area. So it's just going to be a penalty for me, no try. Do you guys agree with those facts?
Yeah, we just need to start the mark on the restart.
Yes, okay. So just give us the mark, please, on the restart. I'll just explain that decision to the camera. Thank you.
Appreciate the logistics and the reasoning there from Mike Lawrenson. Very clear.
After review of the play, there was head contact and there was foul play. It's not a high degree of danger, and there is mitigation because there's other tacklers in the area. So we'll just go back for a penalty only. The try will not stand. We'll go for a penalty on the mark, and please reset the clock to the time of the incident. Anthem remains their challenge. They have 1 challenge remaining.
Well, you'll take it either way for an opportunity for points for Seattle, but you'd love to come away with a try.
Well, you would, and that man right there, Rainer, you see how disappointed he is. I don't know if he's disappointed in himself because he knows that was an unnecessary error, or if he doesn't believe that it should have been penalized. Either way, it's right on the border there. That's a tricky one. Full speed, it's really hard to control your body. And you saw Sam Gola was dipping down, so there wasn't a lot of space on the body of Sam Gola to hit him legally.
And no kick to try to make it 3. So Seattle comes away with nothing after what was a really excellent line break because of that arm bar.
Okay, use it white.
With the high tackle. And they regain possession here, though. Devan Rousseau carrying down. Andre Warner gathers it, but it's
no, 8. No,
penalty here. We'll be back to Anthem.
Brilliant play from Makeen Ali Khan. We've seen him do it so often, and it's a quick play. Let's go, Anthem.
It's Roberts, so shifty out of the gates. Tries to just knock it forward for himself. Nick Boyer gathers it off the hop, and Seattle's back in possession, but deep in their own territory. Just trying to play forward.
Leave it blue, leave it blue.
That's Lindenmuth.
Stop now, blue, stop. Okay, use it white.
And Andre Warner will just pop this high in the air, just try to get some breathing room.
It hasn't gone 5, it's gonna be a free kick to white.
On a free kick for Seattle.
Yeah, step again.
Boyer's just gonna pooch it to himself and keep possession. Another chance for a line break. This is Devan Rousseau. Wrestled down there by Connor Mooneyham. And the 14. Trying to recover on defense. Nice flip over to Mark Bennett. Played down here for Seattle once again.
Number 8, blue.
Warner. Mata'ele. And a line break here. It's Davey Kutzer on the run to Warner once again. Perhaps retribution for Seattle. They're right up against it. And it's played down for a try.
Lost control of the ball.
hold on.
And then regather. It's going to be a scrum down, blue ball.
A scrum down, Mike Lawrenson issuing that Lindenmuth lost the handle on the way down for the try and unable to get the ability to touch grass.
Into in goal, it's a goal on double, correct, thank you.
But Seattle, how about the momentum? Nick Boyer, a couple big plays there.
Into in goal.
So much to unpack there, Joey. A lot happened in that phase of play. Yes, Nick Boyer went quick, but it was on the back of a failed short line-out attempt or quick line-out attempt. We're going to have a look at it now, and especially for you new rugby viewers, that ball has gone out, and it is a line-out for... Now, you're allowed to do that, but see, Esdale wasn't over the 5-metre line. That dash line you see there, the pass needs to clear that line. He was confused, but it ended up being a Seattle ball. And here we are now with Seattle in possession.
And no scrum despite the issuance there from Mike Lawrenson. How about Boyer? Throws a stiffy. Works alongside in the outside channel. Paculo as Ignacio is wrestled down. Rickard Hadding, that's played forward here off the
Luke, you're coming back.
Boot there of Mark Bennett and played back the other way for Anthem. Mango, what's up, Purdy man? This is one of those games where you don't want either team to lose. That's endearing, but somebody's got to. Agreed, though. This has been one heck of a matchup. I feel like both these teams, Mark, like you said, have been playing even. But Seattle in this second half feels like they've gained a ton of momentum, even despite not coming away with either opportunity that they've nearly scored, for different reasons as well.
Yeah, you say that, but I can't help thinking that had Anthem not made the mistakes they've made, they wouldn't have allowed Seattle to capitalize.
Devon Rousseau sits a man down. He finally gets tackled just ahead of the halfway line. And Andre Warner works back. There's a player down here for Anthem as well. That's Sam Gala. Rickard Hadding carries that. Lindenmuth can't handle it.
Advantage, wide knock on.
Off the brief pass there from Tui Moalia.
That Jackal is good. We'll come back for the knock on by White. The Jackal is good. There was a knock on here by White.
I mean, you could hear it in the ref's mic, the disappointment of Tuamoiloa with his pass. He knew he was in two minds about whether to give it or not. Nice pass there to Hadding out wide. Little looping play. Nice combination between the 8 and the 11. And then just that pass, he wasn't quite sure. Tried to get the one-handed pass away, and it ended up traveling forward.
Looks like he's good, actually. We'll play on. Yeah. Yeah, same.
So certainly a let-off for Anthem there. They looked like they were in 6s and 7s in defense. Need to be careful.
Number 11.
Getting that access is so important. Sam Gala was down there,
Number
but
11.
he seems to be back up and good. He's still stretching out that cramp.
Going into the game for
You mentioned Sam Gala, Joey. Oh, Esdale seems to be leaving the field.
So Eric Storty will come in relief. You know, Mark, as a playmaker, what are you thinking in this position here? If you're Anthem, you haven't really had possession, really an opportunity to go score, but you still get kind of let off the hook in these last couple of phases.
I think, again, just to settle everybody down, Luke Carty stepping up and just say, let's just play it down at the other end of the field, lads. I know we're getting excited. Gaps seem to be opening up. They want to take quick taps, and there's a time and a place for that. But I think just getting down into the 22 of Seattle should be the main focus right now. And that's one way to do it.
Losing the bind.
On the back of another scrum penalty. Anthem, that's been a huge part of their game, especially against a pack like Seattle. So Carty will step up and then get at least another 30 metres for them downfield. That's on that far side there.
It's so important to keep that leverage.
Keep your bind.
Certainly not the spot that Anthem wanted
You got to hold your bind.
but still ahead on that halfway line. A big man try. That is true. Props are majestic. You got to recognize that. That was especially majestic from Ezekiel Lindenmuth with the one-handed snag. Roberts played forward from Mooneyham. Out there is Eric Storty as well, 23 in blue.
Down. White ball. Take a second if you need it.
And turn back over.
And Joey, I believe the correct term was majestical from Waffle House there.
Majestical.
Don't correct Waffle House.
Apologize.
One of our most prolific
Waffle House
viewers.
Gets involved. I dare not correct him. Correct him.
Just with you two, we've had penalties all day. Yeah, we're not going to just do this. Let's just please make sure that we keep our binds right, keep our hips above our knees. Okay, give me good pictures. Or we're going to get someone else that can do it. Okay, for both of you.
Mike Lawrenson. Law is part of his name. Breaking it down.
Coach! Bind! Sit!
21-18 our counter Sunday matinee.
Don't change your bind, one.
It's been physical today. Back and forth in that first half. Been a bit that way with just the lack of points on the scoreboard for both these sides.
Holding on.
Here in the second half. Big tackle there. Anthem regains.
Gentlemen, please. Back 10. You're clearly isolated. You're holding on.
So,
Hold on.
great play here.
You want to do it now or you want to do it after penalty?
Tuamoiloa goes in, but the
Okay, they wanna do
support
subs
wasn't
now.
effective because you see Zion going in there. See him over the ball, assisted by Pittman,
7.
and they got there quicker than
2,
the reinforcements for Seattle.
So
And number
nearly
6.
an entire line
7, 2,
change.
3, and 6.
Essentially, a ton of new faces coming on for Anthem. Included is that #1 overall pick, Will Sherman, donning 19 today in blue.
Okay, time is on. Penalty. Holding on.
Ramiro Gurdovic also prodding on to the pitch. Nice kick from Cardi.
Rickard, just remember you're on a warning here. White, step over.
Leadership has been so huge for this Anthem crew, and they know that they have depth this season.
Yes, that's outside the
Always
shoulder. and they were just
a luxury that they've
contest,
had.
not straight. Scrum is chosen. Scrum down.
Zion Going and company will have the scrum here.
The line-out throw was not straight.
Crucial error from Anthem, Joey.
To Seattle.
Don't change your mind.
Elementary, in
Once you have your
fact.
bind, don't
The line-out throw was not straight. Look at the position they're in, and they've just let Seattle off the hook again. So it's these
change it. You
errors
can do what you want. I'm just telling you what I'm saying.
that are hurting, quite frankly, both of these teams. Not allowing themselves to get that momentum. We've been at this scoreline, well, the entire half.
Coach! Bind! Sit!
Andre Warner with the entry. Oh, scrum loss handle, huh? That ball's still around.
Pouring in.
So we might have seen,
Scrum penalty to Seattle.
can be forgiven for thinking it was Anthem there with the ascendancy, but it was illegal.
On the 15 where the scrum
I
started.
think it might have been Oliver Kane who's just come on, boring in. You need to drive straight in the scrum. The ref is looking for anybody, any prop in particular, just driving on an inward angle, which makes it hard for the opposition to hold their body position.
Also into the game for Anthem.
Blue, you guys are on the line.
Hey, no, it wasn't Oliver. He looked, he thought he was penalised. That's him there, he's just come on, but I think it was on this Lucid side. Peyton Lalio.
Seattle has had 2 bites at the
Slow it
cherry,
down,
phrase he
penalty
used
advantage.
earlier,
Not rolling.
for a chance for a try. Can they break through once more? This is Reno Herbst carried
Play on,
down.
play backwards
Andre
down.
Warner, that falls right in the basket
Advantage over.
of Kutzer.
Playing advantage knock on.
Played back, that ball's still alive for Roberts. This is Mooneyham
Advantage over.
working through and being
Come back, come
tackled. Whoa!
6.
Will Sherman got thrown over the turnbuckle there.
White. It's a penalty against
Wrestling
you, White.
style.
It's a penalty against you, so please back up.
Stay with Anthem.
6. It was a knock advantage.
On a Redling ice.
Yeah, you've lifted a play, he's landed on the back day.
One heck of a takedown.
The advantage was over after you gained 20 meters.
I wouldn't want to be taken down by somebody named the War Machine.
Right here.
Manu, he is a menace. Such a brute, such a tough customer. But on that occasion, just pushing the boundaries a little too hard. Straight out of the movie Braveheart.
5.
Hold. Runner-up for Houston last year, formerly of Rugby ATL at first, then Houston for 4 seasons. So he's a
no contest. More.
2-time runner-up in the MLR. He's seeking that elusive title.
Rejoin.
Just like Seattle as a franchise is trying to get their 3rd.
Don't change your bind.
And muscling forward here with Ramiro Grudovic. He's still carrying that ball through. Grudovic finds his way to sneak into the territory here of Seattle. Good run here from Anthem. Baden Godfrey, 20 in blue, is also out there. Zion going. Works backward.
You still have a penalty advantage.
Mooneyham plays it down.
Yes.
Zion going, the grandson of All Blacks legend Sid Going, who grew up in Northland, New Zealand. Julian Roberts works back. Played back for Eric Storty.
That counter ruck is good. We're going to come back for 13 offsides.
Counter ruck for Seattle.
Okay, so now we've had a few foul plays, and now we have 13 offsides, never onside. Yeah? No more from your team now. Now we're going to repeat the infringement.
Can I get some time?
Sure, yes, you definitely must pass that message. I won't. Yeah. Time is off.
Rickard Hadding, number 8, and the captains for this group. Chance for some reprieve. They have one player in the sin bin as well. It's Marno Redling Ice.
Yeah, because of that, Joey, what Seattle needs to do with a man down is they need to get buttoned up. Stop giving penalties away. No doubt Rickard Hadding will be talking to his troops, just saying, all right,
now, please. Water's off. Water's off.
We've got about 8 minutes. We just need to pull together.
Seattle, water's off.
And be clinical.
Gonna be put back on.
So if you think about the way this second half has flown so far, with 13 minutes gone,
wait.
it has felt much longer than even the first half did in total. Seen 2 almost tries here for Seattle. They've squandered those positionings to go score. And we find ourselves the exact same total we've had at halftime, despite it feeling like Seattle's gained momentum. Now Anthem has finally had a real chance at it.
I think that's a good point, Joey. I think it does feel longer because of all these stoppages due to errors from both teams. We've got penalties, we've got a lot of scrums. Once again, neither team really able to get into their groove. And this could be the turning point now for Anthem if they can extend their lead.
Let's go, Rugby. What if they pulled off the mask and it turns out to be Will Hooley? That would be very impressive. Will Hooley being in 2 places at once and dressed as death himself.
I would say put the mask back on, Will.
You're good. You all at home will see the Hooley Mammoth later on today for Sunday Night Rugby.
Blue obstruction. Blue obstruction. Blue obstruction. You've come in front of the ball, carry the ball. Yep. Number 8, blue.
All right, so Seattle gets another crack at it back.
Joey, there we go again. Another error, prime attacking position, an opportunity for Anthem. And something as simple as an obstruction at the line-out. And what that means is an Anthem player just getting between himself, the ball carrier who brought the ball down, and the opposition. Acts as a shield, preventing a Seattle player to get a good tackle on the man with the ball.
I can imagine that with all the chaos that goes on, really hard to get yourself to be in the exact right position to not make an error like that. You're just trying to play forward and get your teammates in the best position possible, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think that's that. Then
how you kind of temper that is, I guess, more of my question. When you're in that, when you're in the action like that.
Tell you what, do in practice.
Yeah.
You can practice those situations, and when it becomes automatic, then you bring it onto the field.
Nick Boyer wrestled down there. Campbell Jan Momsen as well.
Okay, stop now, Blue, stop. Blue, off his head.
Seattle just trying to get out of their own zone. Andre Warner skies that ball. Only gains about 10 meters or so. Lindenmuth shouldering forward.
Advantage,
Seattle
Blue 14,
back on the prowl.
offsides.
Devan Rousseau crosses the halfway line. Good amount of meters gained on that particular possession. An impressive week last week for Big 15. 139 meters gained on only 9 carries. Now Seattle looks back to true form. A nice one down for Riekert Hadding.
No, play on. No hands, no, leave it, Blue.
Opponent's territory. Well in. Got some width in the outside channel out there. Played down to Amoiloa. With it now.
Tackle! Stay there, Blue, stay Blue.
Big hit there. Kutsa couldn't handle himself. A large hit there from Ramiro Gudovic. You can see there is a stark difference in pace. Big thump there from Michael Hand.
15 Blue offside, 14 Blue.
The Irish winger.
14 Blue.
Offsides penalty.
And played for Miami on loan from Chicago in 2024 as the possession changes hands. Born originally in Connecticut, 3 consecutive All-Ireland championships and the 4x100. So great to have a speedy Irishman on the outside for your winger, as the injury for Ezekiel Lindenmuth is tended to.
Yeah, I see it, I see it, I see it. Okay.
Joey, there's been patches of good play in this game.
Time off, we got subs.
Including this one right now, out to Hadding. What about the dummy? And that tackle from Cardi was key because Hadding was away.
No, just wait till the line, yeah?
Showed the ball on the inside. Perfect timing from Nick Boyer to come in on the switch.
No, what is off? What is
and
off?
Hadding throws a little dummy, nearly gets through.
What is
If it
off?
wasn't for the defense of Luke Cardi.
What is off, please? Please hear me. What is off? It's not an injury, it's a substitution. Let's play on. Rickard, if this happens again, it's going to be a penalty against your team. Yeah, it's a substitution, not a water break. What is off?
Hadding gets the warning.
Time is still off.
Too
The
much
injured players
hydration going on out
For the
there.
Seawolves. Yeah, you're right.
Time is still off. Wait.
I don't think anybody is upset about getting the extra
Okay, time is on.
squirt of water. So Seattle now
It's fine, play.
back in opponent territory as they encroach here in the red zone. Beautiful day for rugby in Charlotte. But up high in the air, Will Sherman swatted that one away. Played down
Ducked
forward
into it,
now
no foul play.
for Mark Bennett.
No foul play, ducked into it.
Back to Reno
Stop now,
Herbst.
17, you're from the side.
Michael
Tackle!
Hand. Ball getting ripped out there by Zion Going, at least briefly. Hand somehow held onto it. And making his first appearance of the day is Larome White.
Leave it, Blue.
Larome works back. It's Devan Rousseau.
Okay, use it, White.
21-18 our count. It's been this way since
Backwards.
halftime. No blood drawn here in
Going
the second
backwards,
half.
play on.
Michael Hand
Four, stop,
briefly
stop,
loses
four.
the handle. Johan Momsen
You're
going to
kicking
get
the ball in
tapped
the
here.
ruck. You cannot kick the ball. Kicking the ball in the ruck. No, he kicked the ball. He's kicked it out.
Momsen pleading his case that he didn't kick the ball in that brief ruck.
Oh, I would like to have another look at that because he might feel hard done by. Yes, a boot made contact, but was it just trying to make the tackle, or did he deliberately? This is a perfect angle to see.
over here.
See, he goes on the counter ruck. Ah, yes. That was a little deliberate.
No, not penalty.
You can't say that that was accidental. Well spotted by the referee and assistant referee.
Johan, penalties are starting to creep up. Let's get a little more discipline again, okay?
Paddy Ryan today. Impressive stuff from the USA-eligible Irishman.
White 10.
Brought up through the Lines Through Youth system before joining the Northampton Saints in the English Premiership. He's been impressive here today for this group. No substitution on for Seattle. Martin Redling Ice is getting the legs ready. He's
Okay, here we go.
almost served his sentence. As JP Smith is back out there.
Oh, it's good.
Talked about the relationship of JP Smith and Andre Warner, having played so much rugby together. Alan Clark feels like it's one of the best combinations you could ask for. It's very similar to Davy Kutzer and Dorian Jones. Bringing these guys because of their qualifications, as that one is just a bit miscalculated on the pass. The offload there.
Jazz, you're going to do a water break here. Hydration break.
And a hydration break. Well timed, I think, for everybody. Martin Redling Ice will enter back onto the pitch. We'll take a break with them here on ESPN. In the Midwest, SeaKeek Stadium. Tonight, you'll see Chicago at home against California Legion. That's going to be a lot of fun. And the premiere of Sunday Night Rugby in Chicago.
Fantastic stadium.
Yep.
It really has already had a Major League final there, of course, and Shaquille O'Neal on the decks.
Diesel?
Sorry, yes, DJ Diesel.
Don't change your mind.
What a push here from Anthem. Carrying forward here is Ramiro Grudovic. Zion going. Offloads back. Good momentum here from Anthem. They find a semblance of scoring here on offense. It's Eric Storty. Didn't see too much offensive explosion from the boys in blue here today. Tom Pittman works down. Going works back, and it's Johan Momsen once again. Played back here, Luke Carty once again, Eric Storty.
Push up, push up.
Carty played back, Grudovic. Big tackle there from Deval Kutza. Knocked forward, it's a chase. Zion going, wraps it up. Follow's there, it's Will Sherman instead.
Oh, I don't know, Joey.
Time off, time off.
Did he hold it in possession? You say no, Mark.
Well, look at the body language.
Yeah.
Joey, there's the just
Plays under review.
look at the body language. He's not celebrating. He might know it. So let's have a look at the tackle. That's gone. That is gone.
Tried his best.
I tell you what, Ignacio Piculo, take a bow.
Yep.
You just saved your team 5, potentially 7 points.
And that's the second time that Seattle has prevented a try from Anthem, as we hear from Mike Lawrenson.
Kiwi, if you could just show me the player in the act of scoring. I'd like to check if he was held up or if he used one movement to score a try. My on-field decision is held up. Okay, just show it again, please, in full speed.
Well, interesting, Joey. There was no mention there of losing the ball. He's just looking at whether it's held up or grounded.
Yes. Okay, I have a decision. Try for you. Try. Yeah. After review of the play, the ball carrier did score in one movement. There was no held up, so it is a try.
All right, Will Sherman. Take a bow for your first try. The #1 overall pick in this year's MLR College Draft.
You have 60 seconds from now. Okay, sorry.
Comes on as a reserve today and earns a try for Anthem, and more importantly, extends their lead after Seattle has come up empty on their last couple attempts to score. So 7 more points for Anthem. 10-point advantage. Augusta Cavalieri, Mark Carney, the general manager, trying to change the culture and tune
Okay, use it.
of this young franchise after getting their first franchise win.
It's all right now. Going backwards by white, backwards. No hands, blue, no hands.
In week 1, now finding themselves in week 3 ahead of Seattle. There's a whole lot of rugby to be played here, especially if you get a line break like Paddy Ryan has had here today. Can the Seawolves muscle through? It's Rickard Hadding. JP Smith flips it on. And a knock on.
Wow, that is uncharacteristic of JP Smith. His first touch of the game as well.
Okay. Sindlin is back on.
Mario Redling Ice is going to enter back on the pitch.
White 5, substitution, white 5.
Check out that mane. Bouncy. And ready to go.
Number 11. Oh, there he is, okay. All right, we're good to go, boys. Here's our scrum.
Fans, we are back to full strength.
Blue ball.
Now into the game first.
Khaleesi Moli, you know, in for Harrison Mataele.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
17 and a half to go. Seattle trying to work back against this deficit.
Use it now.
Anthem back in possession. Peyton Godfrey to Zion going. Anthem trying to extend. Julian Roberts, nifty pass along the sideline. It's Eric Storty.
Over.
Storty throwing the stiff arm down. Zion going back with Julian Roberts. Played forward now.
So knock on by white first, then a knock on by blue.
With Jordan Trainer, the vice captain.
It's going to be a scrum down to blue.
Building in confidence,
White first,
Anthem.
by blue.
And I've got to give a shout out to Julian Roberts. He is everywhere. He's playing with confidence. He's playing as a wonderful link man, delivering the ball, creating space for outside, as well as taking opportunities himself.
Don't step out. Don't step out of the fight. Stay in the fight. Don't step out. Thank you.
Thought he might have got away with a forward pass. It was the flattest of flat passes. And it was a beauty, but another inch in a forward direction, and that would have been called back, surely.
Coach!
I don't know how they time it like that, too. It's incredible.
Sit! Advantage. Can't play on from that. Overextended, number 3.
Another big scrum penalty.
Overextended now.
For Anthem.
You got to get your knees underneath your hips, my friend. We're outside the 22. You cannot call a scrum. Yeah. Because we're outside the 22.
Just outside the 22 as well, as Mike Lawrenson illustrated.
Now, once again, huge part of the reason they're in the lead at the moment is that scrum of Anthem. Seattle at times struggling to handle.
So Luke Carty, Eagle number 536, formerly of the Hounds and NOLA Gold, through contract next season. A calming presence for this group and a chance to boot through another 3. And he's curved it right through. Lots to cheer about here today in Charlotte.
Joey, it's so important to have a kicker like Carty on your team with a laser boot, just to keep building the score, keeping the opposition at arm's length.
Wait for.
So 15 minutes remaining. Seattle's going to have Devon Rousseau
Subs on.
ready to go there. Mark, what is
9 blue.
what has defined this second half for this Seattle team? Because there's been so many chances for them.
Just wait, you're on the mark.
Just haven't, they've come up empty a couple times. And it's really cost them now, down 13.
Okay, time is on.
Yeah, again, I just think it's,
Guys, yeah, they'll come in. You need to move
especially
over,
early on in the
They're
season,
mark.
just a
No,
challenge with these new players coming into the squad to find that cohesion. You've seen a lot of instances, Joey, where the pass hasn't quite gone to the man. It's either gone to ground or slightly behind.
It's okay. Play on.
Ishmael Safodian in for Zion going. The scrum half for Anthem takes his leave
Don't collapse it. Stop.
with 14 remaining.
Huge tackle from Marcus Fulau.
Advantage, slowing it down.
Driving
16, standing
Seattle
up on the wrong
back.
side.
Marcus Fulau came in a little bit earlier. Quite a few meters gained as well on that outside channel.
Gents, we're going backwards. We're going to come back for the penalty over here. Number 16 standing up on the wrong side of the rock.
So this, Joey's probably where, and you see Andre Warner taking his time, rightly so. Let's just calm things down. We now have the ball. Time to hit the reset button. Get some good field position. This kick now to the sideline. It's a tricky one because it's in the middle of the field, so there's a lot of distance to get to that sideline. And you want to just get this one out safely. Rousseau should do that without too much trouble. But now this is where you regroup, clinical in the line out, start to build the phases. Maybe just simplify things a little bit and get on the front foot.
How about Julian Roberts today? You've talked about him a couple of different times, but he's been such a factor, especially with his ability to quickly get rid of the ball as soon as he catches it. He's able to offload.
On the mark,
There's a couple
please.
crunch moments.
Yeah, he's been
There
immense
you go,
today.
Whoa! Hold. Okay, it's over.
So Seattle trying to get themselves back in position to score, where they've been a couple of times already in this half. Kutsa wrestling for that ball. In particular, battle won by Alessandro Hini.
All right, my friend, the penalty now it's an official warning here. We have too many penalties. 17 is clearly from the side there. Any more here and someone's going to go to the bin. You understand? Yeah, okay.
I was about to ask a question. Do you take the 3 points? Because there's plenty of time left, but no. They've handed it to Rousseau, so straight away they've made their intentions known. Let's go to the sideline. We need to score tries and score them quickly.
All right, Nighthammer. Yeah, we hear you.
Half a meter, please, half a meter.
Hounds fan here excited to see how many games Anthem can win. He's especially saying that after Chicago
Stay here, please, yeah.
beat Anthem last week on their own home turf. He wouldn't be saying this if they had lost. We love it. We agree. There's plenty more to go around, especially the excitement around this Anthem bunch.
Leave it blue, leave it blue, leave it blue, leave it blue. Leave it blue, no hands. Balls out.
Wrestled down ahead in Seattle. A chance here to score. Deval Kutsa. It's Andre Warner working back, trying to find their way forward for a try. And they do. Seattle scores. And finally takes advantage of some great positioning. It's Calvin Luilamanga. No? Beg your pardon.
That was held up. Yeah, look, it could have gone either way, but fortunately I heard the ref say, you must have heard him, Joey. I heard him say held up, and it was Pittman. No, all good. It certainly looked like a try. Look at Pittman there, number 12. Potentially high, but regardless, the on-field decision held up. What a try saver.
A couple of times Anthem's done that to the Seattle group. Boy, it started to feel like the gates opening here for the Seawolves. Unable to come up with it. Warner through. Luamanga with a line break.
Advantage offsides.
Nick Boyer
13.
holds it up.
Advantage
And
over.
Divan Rousseau on the run. That'll count for Seattle, huh? Needed it, and they get 5 more. Right back in this thing, Mark.
Certainly are, Joey. You see how hungry they are and desperate, in fact, to get back in the game. Being denied moments earlier by a try saver from Pittman, but bouncing right back thanks to this run from Calvin Luilamanga. And then Boyer, that offload was superb. The perfect timing from Rousseau, connecting perfectly those two out wide. And an easy run in for Divan.
It's exactly what this team could do as well. When they feel like they're in good positioning, they got some good footing. Mark Bennett knocks it through. Another 2 here for Seattle. Whole new ball game with 10 minutes to go.
The conversion kick is good by Mark Bennett.
Seattle chasing history to be the winningest franchise in MLR history today. More importantly, keep their undefeated record alive. Anthem looking for their second win in franchise history. They've never beaten Seattle in their 3 matches, this being the 4th. They've cut it to 6. We've seen a couple different instances where either side has been able to score quickly. Seattle looks ready to go for it once again. It's Khaleesi Moli. Played down, and Andre Warner works back to Liki Chentung. Boyer just crossing the halfway line. Work down the outside for Rickard Hadding. Hand holds it up. Nice tackle. And they're in by Sherman.
Okay, use it, White. Behind, last feet. Push back. Rickard, wait.
Andre Warner skies it high in the air. Potential collision avoided.
Last feet.
Held down there by Jordan Trainer. Sure hands.
Sorry,
despite last week 4 turnovers against Chicago.
You're sealing, my friend.
Much similar mold to Cardi for the shape of this Anthem Rugby Carolina group. Seattle will have another crack at it.
Yeah, you want to stop? Yeah. Thumb off. 2 injuries.
Joey, Anthem need to be careful here. You can see
okay at this point.
The momentum now that Seattle have built, and they seem to be in the driver's seat. Although they don't have the lead, they're a converted try away.
We need a sub.
If we think about where this game has gone, we've been so back and forth. Let's talk about some of the player of the match contenders. 2 from each side. Luke Hardy, Julian Roberts, Paddy Ryan, and Divan Rousseau, who just scored that most recent try, Mark.
Yeah, he's been safe at fullback as well, just chiming in when he needs to, making crucial tackles. Haven't been standing out, but it's certainly noticeable. And we talked about Paddy Ryan. He's been immense as well in attack and defense. That early try, obviously, but Julian Roberts, outstanding, moving from the wing, looking so comfortable at outside center. And Luke Carty, you're right, Joey, just steering the ship nicely, putting the ball in the right part of the field when his team needs him to, linking forwards with backs. Some nice, crisp passing, and some key tackles from the number 10 as well.
If you follow him, then I'll penalize him, okay? Thank you.
Nando's Rugby Fanatic. Just want my team not to send my anxiety levels through the roof for one game, please. I wonder who he's talking about, who they're talking about there.
I don't know, but I love me some Nando's. He's got me salivating like Pavlov's dog. I loved eating Nando's when I lived in the UK.
Never had a Nando.
Oh, you're missing out. You
is it
lived.
Singularly a Nando, or is it Nando's?
It's Nando's. It's Nando's.
Yeah.
Cheeky Nando's, maybe? Sounds like I got to try.
Yeah, oh, mate.
Our UK correspondents have sent some over the pond here.
And by the way, I don't get paid by Nando's to say that, but maybe I should if you're listening.
They just said they figured it out. Good, yeah, he's on.
Just a
Mark will get paid in Nando's, that's fine.
A little cheeky sponsorship from Nando's.
All the cramps worked out. I think we're ready to go here. Divan Rousseau and company trying to work back against this 6-point deficit. Interesting spot to be in as well, because if you do get this try, you have to convert if you want to take the lead here for Seattle in crunch time.
And this break, whether Anthem are using it or not to their advantage, they certainly could, because the momentum was definitely in Seattle's favor. So this break could help Anthem just to regroup. This is a big play for them coming up.
Decent spot there from the kick of Divan Rousseau.
Johan, I remind you, you're still in a warning. You're still in a warning. Yeah.
Mike Lawrenson Just giving a subtle reminder there to Johan Momsen that he's on a warning for a potential penalty as a line out ensues.
Okay, White, you need to use it now.
A Herculean effort there from Anthem just to work this thing backwards. Played back once more, it's Charlie Walsh. Former 18th pick in the MLR draft. Played back here for Leaky Chantung.
Tackle.
Wrestled down there nicely by Godfrey. Still handling business as Lerome White worked that down. Anthem
Take a second.
jovial in that instance.
Trainer. Okay. You good? It's just a scrum down, boys. It's a knock on by White. Water's off, water's off. Here you go, you good to go? Yeah, here you go. Here's a
Tough
mark.
spot to be as well as far as injuries go for this Seattle Seawolves team. Can't afford any more. Mark Bennett, a Scottish-born player from Scotland back in the 2015 World Cup. Played for the Glasgow Warriors until 2017. He went to rival Edinburgh. Over 100 top-level appearances for them until 2025, and now making his MLR debut this year. Hope he's all right. He'll be well missed. Knocked home a couple extra points here for Seattle. With the stoppage here from Mike Lawrence on the scrum.
You guys need to hold your weight. Hold the weight back, yeah? Come back, Amon. Yeah.
You saw Ishmael Safodian with the ball coming on late to add some spark.
You guys hold your feet. Yep. So reset it.
Big moment for him to come up against Andre Warner, the number 9 for Seattle, who, by the way, I know he didn't include him in the contenders, but he is up there. He's had an extraordinary game, trying to pick up the pace, connecting well. Always there in support. Obviously scored the try himself. Class player and huge addition for Seattle this year.
Stay.
Safodian lets it down on the entry.
Stepping out.
Well, still played forward nicely.
I can't play it because it's broken apart. Stepping along.
Another big scrum. Wow. Was that the defining play to halt the momentum of Seattle? Give them enough breathing room. Still time left. Anything could happen. But that was huge for them to get themselves out of the red zone. Cardi steps up, does what he's been doing all game. Give him a bit of breathing room.
Put them on the line. On the line.
And another scrum highlight for Anthem.
Big time. Played a huge advantage there. Get the line out here. Many moments of our game today. Big hit with Khaleesi Bully.
Penalty advantage, number 20.
Big and high.
Yes.
Stop now, say 19. Leave him.
Anthem holds on.
We're going backwards. We're coming back for the penalty.
Mooneyham
Number 20.
just trying to help his
Too slow to get out. Slowing the ball down.
teammate Jordan Trainer.
Number 20, roll away.
So you see now Anthem in no hurry at all to play this ball. They're all crunching tackle, but it was right in the upper chest region.
Don't go in front of the 50, please.
/ neck. And now Cardi, another important kick.
And gotta go here if you're to Seattle. This is crunch time.
And an opportunity, Joey, for Anthem just to be clinical. Hold the ball, nothing fancy. Don't push the pass. You can easily wind down 2.5 minutes and take this victory at home. The first ever for Anthem, by the way, at home.
More!
Got the sweet first victory on the road to California in week 1.
Don't change your mind. Don't change your mind. Don't change your mind. Okay, 6 is through the middle. He's through the middle. He's through the middle. He's through the middle.
Ramiro
Don't change your
Grunovich
mind.
just following the path of the scrum. Safodian takes it away. Back to Pittman. Well played down. Mooneyham way outside.
A pass.
It's Storty. Is a beautiful pass down the entry for Jordan Trainer. Tries to throw the stiff arm, Jordan Trainer.
Tackle, release it.
Few jukes down into the 5-meter. Anthem looking for the cherry on top.
Playing advantage, 17 offside.
Be their first home win en route, but can Seattle hold up?
Yes, you have advantage.
Johan Momsen wrestled down. Voting plays back for Sherman, who had the try earlier. Godfrey tumbling forward. Just moments until
going backwards, wait.
an Anthem home win.
Thumb is off. 17.
And a big tackle.
17.
Double team there was Tom
17
Pittman.
White. Yeah.
Part of the USA Extended Player Squad in 2025.
You guys were also on a warning, so it's going to be a yellow card for you.
And a yellow card awarded there
Just wait. Just wait. Red card.
to Lerome White.
Even though he's got the yellow card, you are still on a warning for more cards. No more penalties over here.
And Joey, this is a crucial penalty for a number of reasons.
Okay.
Luke Carty, I'm sure, is going to go for 3 points.
5 meter or right in the middle of the field here.
And that would put them more than a score ahead.
Yep.
And also deny Seattle of a losing bonus point, which they
Right here.
are entitled to at the moment with a score line.
Time is on.
He's gone for the posts. So this could be a crushing blow, not just the victory, but denying Seattle of any points from this game at all.
It's his kick. Yeah.
So many
60 seconds
chances
starts now.
in the second half for Seattle to really
60 seconds
supercharge their lead. At least gain it back, and they haven't been able to. Anthem has held off the Seawolves.
There will be a restart.
And once again, they've only scored 3 tries, Seattle, so no try bonus point. Need to score 4 for that.
Carty knocks it through. A final push here from Seattle, but the lead is 9.
Now, having said that, they won't win the game with a try, but they'll get 2 bonus points because it'll be the 4th try and it'll be within 7. But they're not going to do it like this, Joey.
Certainly not. What a run here from Jordan Trader, shifty as ever.
Knock on the ground.
Maybe they will.
Scrum down. Yeah,
Last throw of the dice for Seattle. Once again, as it stands, going away from this game with 0 points for the table. If they can score a try, they won't win the game, but they'll get a try bonus and they'll come within 7 points of Anthem. It's almost as good as getting a draw.
Yeah, your last chance to do it here as well. I'd love to still come away with points. I know Alan Clark would certainly feel good about that. Been around the game for such a long time.
Well, he'll feel better.
He'll feel better, you're right.
Not that good.
Right.
Wait.
We know Clarky.
Wait.
What a competitor.
Angle number 3. You've gone in. Yep. You've gone underneath and through.
Oh, okay.
18.
What a finish. What a finish, which this sets us up for.
Yeah. Seattle will not return to Starfire Stadium for 2 more weeks. Head to California next week before getting Chicago at home. Big play here. Upcoming. Likely the final phase, you think, for Seattle?
Yeah, we're in the red now. So if you look at the clock, I think
1 step, please, Blue. Thank you.
this is it. Final throw of the dice. They're in a decent position. They've got to win this line out first.
Back.
Uh-oh.
Missed on the line out. Still recovered there for Seattle with Patty Ryan. Andre Warner works it back. Manu rattling ice. But forward, Seattle just trying to get that 4th try.
Yeah, the ball was out. The ball was out. Play
Warner. Squeaking through.
Wow.
Holding on.
Will Sherman
Holds him off. It's Will Sherman. The final blow delivered. Anthem Rugby Carolina succeed in getting their first win at home.
It's not take too long right here.
The first in home in franchise history, and their second win of the season over the Seattle Seawolves. This plucky group has a great future, huh?
Especially, Joey, as they got the monkey off the back in the first game. They've been carrying that for 2 seasons, winless for 2 seasons. They get that out of the way, and now they're on the up.
You guys ready? Let's get out of here.
And with that, a 34-25 count, a 9-point victory for Anthem Rugby Carolina. There is our man of the match, Julian Roberts. And what an effort today from Big 13.
Which begins in just a few minutes. All fans are welcome to join the
He was excellent today, especially getting the crisp offloads to his teammates. When he was to meet certain death for whatever tackle was coming, he was able to get it away. It resulted in a couple of scores here for Anthem today.
Well, and Joey, once again, it's extra special that Julian is player of the match because he's played a lot on the wing. He moved from the wing last week to come in and play a different position and to step up and look so comfortable at outside center. I mean, we might be seeing him stay in this position the way he played today. Why not? As long as there's some good coverage on the wing, which I'm sure there is for Anthem. Extraordinary effort today, everywhere, even in defense. But you saw when he had ball in hand and silky smooth passing, the handling skills of Roberts were exceptional today.
Roberts was super impactful today. The biggest moment of the day came from the #1 overall pick, Will Sherman. It was reviewed and confirmed that this sequence that resulted in the try for Will Sherman, big 19 in blue, muscled forward and put it down just in time. Retook the advantage and lead for Anthem, or at least extended it. Really big exclamation point for this group. That's why you draft them so high. Him and Campbell Robb came up today, big #1 and #2 picks. Let's take up a moment for the stats here, Mark. What stood out the most to you today? Obviously a big advantage of tackles made there for Anthem, but penalties also were relatively even, despite feeling like Anthem was able to take advantage of Seattle's mistakes more.
Yeah, these statistics don't tell us much apart from how close it was, 4-3. I mean, that stands out to me as well. We talked about it. With only 3 tries, Seattle don't get a bonus point. Yet, with 4 tries for Anthem, they do. So it's a 5-point win for Anthem, an extra special game for them. Tackles made. I didn't see too many missed from either side, and the penalties were quite even. That's why we saw, especially in the first half, it was really blow for blow and a seesaw effort.
One heck of a match for Anthem to win. Stick around for post-game interviews with our winning side here on ESPN.